Hey everyone, hey, Brendan from strongfencing.co.nz. I'm putting this video together to give you all the information that you need to make a decision regarding getting an automatic gate or an electric gate. These are just great gates to have. What it means is when you come home, you don't have to get out of the car. So a lot of people love that, especially if it's raining or you've got busy traffic on the road. You don't want to have your car sticking out on the road, or maybe you just want the convenience of just rolling up to your driveway and have that security in mind. We've got this gate back here. We put the slack gate in for our husky dog, who is very fast when he runs away, so we're able to actually keep him contained. We've got a fully fenced property, which is what you'd expect from fencing contractors. So gates are great to have, especially on the driveway. So I'm going to give you a rundown on exactly what gates you can select from, and also I want to talk a little bit about the automation and all the different components that you need to think about. So the first thing is the selection. What kind of gate do you want? Really, at the smallest level of gates, you have pedestrian gates. They don't often get automated, but you can automate a pedestrian gate if you really want to go around the side of the house and press a button. But mainly you'd start with either a single swing gate, like what I've got behind here. Single swing gates are great because they don't have two motors, so the cost of motors is down. You've only got one motor, but also you only have one hinge, which means you don't have two sets of hinges. So with opening gates in general, they end up having taking up extra space, the width of the gate plus the hinges, so you might lose about 200 mils of width. So obviously if you only have one gate, then you're only going to lose 100 mils. So it depends on how narrow your gate is. I've put in a single swing just because of the way the gate opens. It allows you to actually drive in. It sort of opens out, and if I had a leaf on the other side, we would have driven into the leaf of the gate. So it's really important to choose the right gate. So you can have single swing gates. The next kind of gate you'd want to get is a double gate. Double gates are great because they actually open in as you drive in. They kind of look and feel really cool. They kind of give way as you come in. A lot of people go for double gates. Obviously you're going to have two motors mounted on those, and we can do all kinds of styles, but generally a lot of people get their aluminium style gates. Also you've got sliding gates, and now sliding gates are very popular. And what a sliding gate is it's a gate that has wheels under it, and the wheels are actually attached to a track, and that track just sits a little bit above, and what we'll do is we'll actually pour a concrete strip. So often we can just put the strip down on an existing driveway. We can put it down on asphalt, concrete. Sometimes we can put it down on pavers, but not always, just depending on the setup. But it's we pull the strip and then we put the gate on top of it. So one of the things with sliding gates you got to look out for is that you have to consider the area that you are actually going to be opening the gate into. So if you've got like retaining that needs to be done, you've got a hill, you've got bushes and trees and all that kind of stuff, then that could be an issue because you're going to have to dig it all out, put retaining in and pour concrete in. So sliding gates do add a lot of extra cost because of that. If you do have an existing concrete nib on your fence, you can actually potentially just use that, and you might actually be able to just put a sliding gate straight in on top of that. But you're going to need at least a good 100 to 150 from your post of concrete. And the other deal is it has to be flat. It can't be wavy all over the place, and so we can deal with a little bit of variation in the driveway. We can play around with it, but often what we'll do is we'll just pour a strip. And so sliding gates are in my opinion the lowest maintenance gates that you can get, because they're sitting on the ground. The wind's not going to mess up with the hinges. You're not going to have problems with settings. It's basically just going to open. Where double gates generally may need some adjusting over time. Because they're opening all the time, you're going to end up with a little bit of play in the hinges, and because they have to close properly, you might have to come around and play around the settings and get it right. So that's single swing gates, that's double gates, that's sliding gates. The other gates that you might want to consider are cantilever gates. Cantilever is basically it's a sliding gate that has a big tail on it. So you take the opening of your driveway plus another, say, a third of your gate width. So if you've got a a 10 meter opening or a 6 meter opening, a third of that is 2 meters, you're going to end up with a cantilever gate that needs 8 meters to slide back behind. And obviously when it closes, it's going to have 2 meters hanging over one side and 6 meters the other side. Cantilevers are great when you've got a really large variation in the hump of your driveway. A lot of asphalt driveways for commercial are ideal for a cantilever because instead of just removing all the asphalt and repouring it, the gate just slides straight across in the air. There's no track. Cantilever gates are a really great option if you've got a commercial application, but I have installed them in residential and they look really, really cool. So consider cantilever gates as an option. The other one, and probably quite a rare gate, would be a telescopic gate. With a telescopic gate, what you need is half of the driveway opening in the opening position. So what happens is the gate is actually comes out and half of it goes back, and then it comes out like this. So that's the only way I could describe it. Have a look at the videos on telescopic gates. But what happens is that one of the gates is attached to the other gate, and it actually pulls the other gate open. So the good thing is, if you've got limited space when you're going back behind your fence, you don't have enough for a full width gate, then you might get away with a telescopic gate because you only need half of the distance of the driveway in the open position. Get it right. So that's cantilever, that's telescopic. There's a few other options. There are bi opening, which is 2 gates opening like this. So obviously you're going to have 2 motors, so double the cost in automation. But if you've only got a little bit of room on each side, you might want to consider a gate that opens this way. So that's called a bi-parting or bi-opening. It's a pretty cool name. If you do have a slope in your driveway where it's sloping uphill, a lot of people have a driveway that goes uphill, you have a rise. We do have the ability to do what are called rising hinges, and rising hinges are a great option. We can actually cause the gate to actually open up on an angle, but the gate actually ends up being like a wing when it's in the open position. It does put quite a lot of pressure on the motors because the motors have got to pull the arm up, but we are specialists in rising hinges. We've done a whole bunch of them, and they can be a really good option. You can, if you are keen, allow your gate to open out, or you allow your sliding gate to be front mounted to your fence, but you have to check with the council because obviously you can't have a gate that opens out onto the pathway where people are walking by or have bikes and things like that. But some people do opt for front mounting fences because often they have dirt or soil at a higher height behind their fence, and so they want to have the ability to front mount. You can do that, you can risk it, but if you're inside your boundary, obviously go for it. But so those are the main types of gate. Now with automation, one of the things to consider is the heavier that your gate is, the heavier your motor is going to be. So whether that's a sliding gate, double gates, or cantilever or whatever. So you have to think about that. A lot of the heavier gates are things like louver gates, tongue and groove gates, and slack gates. These are like solid aluminium. So motors are actually rated for a certain weight. So you have to match the weight of the gate with the motor that you are buying. Now with motors, the price, you can start with sort of entry level kind of motors, which are really easy to install and have really basic functions, almost analog functions, right up to like digital motors that allow you to fine tune every single part of the process, from opening and closing to soft closing. So there's a lot of features that are actually built into these motors that you want to take advantage of. Many of them are things like safety beams, which allows you to stop the gate from closing if you're driving in and somebody's driving behind you. We also have keypads, which are pretty standard, handheld remotes, key fobs where you just put the key fob onto the keypad. We can also get video intercoms and stuff like that to run all the way back to your house. Normally what we do is we try and install motors, 24 volt motors, which are low voltage. What this means is that we can actually have the motor, have the cable for the motor, which is a 2-core 4mm outdoor lighting cable, which is suitable for outdoor conditions. We only have to put that 100mm under the ground if it's low voltage, but if we go 240 volt, we're going to have to get an electrician out there, dig a massive trench 600 deep. So that's something to consider, but we generally have what's called an external transformer, and what that is a electrical box attached to the side of your house, and normally we go out of the back of a power plug into a box with a transformer in it, and then that transformer then runs all the way to your gate. If you've got anything fancy like video intercoms and stuff, then we need to run what's called a Cat5 cable, which is a computer cable, a LAN cable, which runs back to your modem to allow you to do different things. There's a lot of cool technology these days with motors. Just ask us about sort of what you need, but most motors today come with like an application, but often you'll need Wi-Fi at the boundary to make the sort of basic stuff work. If you don't have Wi-Fi at the boundary, then we can look at different options. And so there's a lot of stuff you can do with automatic gates. We like to set them up so that they're real safe and solid and are just going to work time and time again. Like everything, we recommend aluminium for all of these gate applications. Aluminium is a lot more lightweight than steel. Some people opt for steel gates. We can get steel gates made because they like the heavy dutiness of it, but sort of 80% of what we do, it's all aluminium. The reason for that, you can powder coat it, it's lightweight, it's never going to rust, and the powder coating on it looks really cool, real low maintenance. And so we can pretty much do any design. So go onto our website, look at all the designs. It's not an exhaustive list. If you think of something that you like, you can just send us a photo of any gate that you can think of, and we'll be happy to work on a price with you. So anyway, I hope that helps on your journey with an automatic gate. They are really awesome to have. I was just pulling in today and thinking about, man, this has just been so good for our dog. It's been so good for our security. And so if you're interested, keep watching. Check out the website strongfencing.co.nz. I hope that was helpful. Have a great day.